Is there a life after death? And if so, do you know the Wi-Fi password?
Welcome back to the Uneducated podcast, where we really do not know shit. Today's episode, is there a life after death? I'm pretty much on the fence with this one. Should be an interesting one, because I'm fundamentally a science guy. Abs is a faithful guy himself.
So we're out for a debate.
Yeah, this could potentially be a debate.
Changing up the format.
Yeah.
That's where we're at now.
We're getting political now. We host this in the House of Commons, this episode. So I'm just going to let you start, because I think you would just rip into me if I was to start, so I'll let you go first.
Well, overall, there's a lot of people that believe that there is a life after death, and it's a belief that's stuck throughout the years, throughout history. It's always been there's a life after death. That thought has always been there. Oh well, pretty much always been there as far as we humans can recall back to. So when we're talking about how we believe in a life after death, like if you're a part of the main three faiths, Christianity, Judaism and Islam, you would believe that there is a life after death, there's a heaven. Like those are the ones I'm more connected, have more knowledge about. So you believe there's a life after death, you believe there's a God, you believe there's angels, you believe there's devils to counteract.
The hell.
The different type of devils that are debatable between the faiths. You believe there was a prophet, you believe blah blah blah. But you believe this kind of message has been spread throughout the start of humanity. There has been a life after death.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also other faiths that say there's reincarnation.
Yeah.
So that kind of depends on which route you want to take there.
Reincarnation's quite interesting. Do you remember there was some things that we saw in school that there would be documentaries on people that believed they were reincarnated, and they would recall things from a past life.
Yeah.
And they would go to sort of all these different offices and try and find the birth certificates of the people that they claimed that they were before, and all this stuff, recalling certain places that they would have been to, and vividly describing very accurately these different places that they said they've been to before. And don't know, it kind of creeped me out a wee bit. But
I remember that, especially.
Do you think reincarnation? Do you think reincarnation is a thing?
Personally, I don't.
Okay.
Think reincarnation is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that memories could possibly passed on, maybe through a different kind of method of, because obviously I believe in God.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to put someone's memories into another person's, but that doesn't mean it's reincarnation.
Yeah.
That's also the memories just been implemented into whoever this new person is.
So
and
it's
then
just
they
passed down then.
Yeah, that's my own personal belief. It's nothing to do with my belief.
Okay.
But that could be a thing. It could also be in the main monotheistic faiths.
Yeah.
God always tests the believers, right? So he always puts you see poverty, starvation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They are all to test the believers.
Yeah.
What will we do when we see that?
Yeah.
Will we keep our faith? Will we keep strong? And help out those people? So for instance, coming back to this reincarnation thing, if we see someone who says that they are a reincarnation of another person, will we keep our faith, or will we switch to this other faith which believes in reincarnation?
Uh-huh.
So obviously I don't believe in reincarnation, but I believe that God might test us by putting memories or something like that in another person to make us doubt our belief that slight amount, even if. So when it's talking about how these people reincarnate and they remember everything, maybe they've been taught, there's also these scientific arguments, maybe they've been taught to think that from a young age. They've been taught to think that this person, they've been given the documents and they've memorised it. And if people turn around to me and say that kids can't memorise that stuff, or something like that, There's kids that have memorised Bibles, Torahs,
child
Qurans,
prodigies and all that. Yeah.
So they memorised that from a young age.
I was one of them.
Oh man, wish I was like a prodigy in anything, bro. Like, it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a child. I just want to be good at something. But when we're talking about like this kind of thing, there's so many different routes you can go down. So like you can also go down like the atheistic belief, which is I believe what you go down.
Yeah.
Which is it just ends nothing. So what do you think about that?
It doesn't. When I was trying to think about reincarnation, it doesn't really make sense from a scientific point of view.
Yeah.
Because so obviously humans have evolved from like different mammals and cavemen and all this stuff. Evolution happened. That was a thing.
Yeah.
We know that evolution happened. The world population is just growing and growing and growing, right? It doesn't make sense for people to be reincarnated from other people if they've had a past life. If the population just keeps growing, that just like breaks conservation of mass principles like at a physical level. Yeah, just physics would tell you it just doesn't make sense.
That's the thing though, like these.
And I don't think that the people that claim that they were reincarnated and had a past life and all that, the documentaries are quite few and far between. I think, like there's not much spotlight given to it.
That person.
It's quite a niche thing.
And the thing is that like going to those documentaries actually, like the ones I've seen, like they seem to put it through a biased viewpoint.
Yeah.
They don't try to put it through a unlike scientific viewpoint. They're like, oh, this kid knew something that he shouldn't have known. Shouldn't have known. I was like, we have proof he shouldn't have known this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you don't know that. Like you don't know like if someone like his family might not be connected to that other family.
Yeah.
But there's different routes of communication you can have between families. There's different routes of everything. Like obviously in Buddhism they believe in reincarnation.
Yeah.
So if someone that achieved so a monk or something died, right? They would go to search for that monk. I think it's a monk or whatever it is, right? They would go to search for that monk's reincarnated form, and they have like found some people that pick out the same item that person did. They have like tests to see if this is the kid, and then he would obviously be brought into the faith, and it's happened before, but in terms of how it works and everything like that, I just can't like focus on the reincarnation. I just can't like think it's real. I feel like there's a whenever these tests are done, there's always going to be a chance that someone picks the right items.
Yeah.
Right, because like when they pick these people to like the kids or whatever to pick out these items of the other person, say which one's that person's, right? That could just be an instinctual. There's always going to be a chance they're always going to pick those items. That a kid's going to pick that item, right? It's not going to be, and it's not that he's recognised it. Like obviously in their faith, like it might be that he's recognised it.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It might be something on an instinctual level that he picks the same items, not because he prefers them, not because they kind of have an attraction to that item of some sort, but just because
mathematical chance.
Yeah, mathematical chance. There's like
probability and stuff. Yeah.
So like that kind of viewpoint. But overall, like if you're comparing like Buddhism and all that to like other faiths, like you see like it's the like it's people faced with reincarnation, they're based off a lot of the similar things. As well at the same point. They just believe that there's no heaven. Like in Buddhism they believe that if you get put into the cycle of rebirth as different animals or whatever, depending on what you did in the life before.
I don't know how I feel about that. 'Cause I feel like if you're reincarnating as a different creature, not necessarily a human, you could maybe explain that using like conservation of mass, because obviously the world would have started, you've got all this bacteria, evolution happens, you've got dinosaurs, all this stuff that's now extinct, and now it's replaced with like humans and other animals obviously. So maybe you could apply it there. I'm not too sure, but definitely not reincarnation for humans. As a no. So
the issue is with that, like the conservation of mass, which you mentioned before as well, is that obviously that's only the physical form.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're like obviously faiths believe that you have a soul, right? You always have a soul. Like that's one thing that's common amongst a lot of popular faiths. Like I'm not going to like the different sects or anything of those faiths or something like that. I'm just saying like in a stereotypical viewpoint. In Buddhism as well, I think you have a soul. You have like your own ego to fight and everything like that. But in terms of, yeah, like this kind of soul is going to be different from like all the science that everything that you can like think about. You can't measure how much soul you have. You can't see the soul that you have, and overall, this soul isn't like an encapsulation of your personality. Just it's not an encapsulation of your mind. It's an encapsulation of your whole being.
Okay.
Like in essence.
Can I stop you there for a wee moment? By soul, are we meaning as what a lot of people would say ghosts? Would you say a ghost as someone's soul? Is that what you're referring to as?
Yeah, a ghost
like
would be
presence?
a ghost would be an entity of someone's soul that was left behind, like that didn't pass on. So like that would be an approach of like other faiths and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I know like for a fact in Islam, I don't think, well I don't know for a fact, I'm saying I don't think they believe in ghosts. Like, cause they all like God will just take like the ghost up. But in Christianity, they believe in ghosts. They have exorcisms and stuff like that. In Islam, they have exorcisms as well, but they believe in this thing called the jinn, which is slightly different. And Judaism, I'm not too sure about where they fall in that.
Yeah.
And Buddhism, I don't think believe in ghosts at all. They're very like, this is the world. There's no like extra kind of part of it.
Yeah.
But it might be like someone's soul is attached and not going back into the cycle of rebirth. Like it escaped it somehow.
Yeah.
So there's Buddhist sects that believe in that also. I know. But in Christianity, like you see, like there's so many places like if you watch this kind of series, what is it called? Unsolved, right?
Okay.
Unsolved. They go through like this chapel and they meet this father. And he's basically been doing a lot of exorcisms and all that in his life. He kind of like gives them holy water to use like it, because they're going into like what they do in this channel is that they go to like haunted places.
Yeah.
And stay there the night or whatever.
Yeah. And
like see if there's evidence. They have like cameras. They have like so many different items. And like sometimes they pick up a lot of evidence that there's noise here.
Like paranormal.
Yeah. There's like
activity.
like EMF. I don't trust the EMF overall, right?
Yeah.
It's just like such a shady thing. And then there's like another thing which is like a radio. Like this one's weird because it scans through channels every 0.2 milliseconds. I think 0.2 milliseconds. It scans through radio frequencies.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, the chances of getting a sentence is almost zero.
Yeah.
Right. I think like from what I know, but these people like actually put out like the thing out and they hear the same voice while it's going through the channels. Like the same voice says a sentence or a word. And then they're like scared, like they're obviously kind of freaky.
On edge,
yeah. Sometimes there's not that many radio channels in the locality. Maybe that will like send you right back to the same channel.
Uh-huh.
But overall, like it shouldn't be a thing that happens.
Yeah.
Or right, but sometimes they have recorded that a sentence has been said, and
Or
they've recorded
or something. Yeah.
and they've recorded like that I've gotten really cold in this room somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Or they have like thermostats and everything. Let's say like like the room's actually decreasing temperature a bit, not too much, but like obviously they see enough to see the goosebumps and everything.
Yeah.
So like in this channel, like they have a lot of that. But when I went to see this father, like he gave them the water and stuff like that. So going back to like these faiths do believe in like ghosts. They believe that there's an entity out there that they don't have a full understanding of. And the thing with like science and stuff like that is that they would go against ghosts. Because it's not
ghosts is where I'm on the edge about.
Yeah.
Because obviously I watch a lot of like Joe Weller and TGF. Like they do a lot of videos where they explore haunted, abandoned buildings of different types, where it's like theme parks or hospitals, asylums and stuff. And they have seen some pretty mad stuff that would sort of suggest that there's like a presence out there, that ghosts exist. I was reading today, it was a couple of years ago actually, you know the Large Hadron Collider?
Yeah.
So they use that to recreate like miniature versions of the Big Bang. They
yes.
collide protons together. So you know how they discovered like the Higgs boson particle from that?
Mm-hmm.
Brian Cox, who I'm a big fan of his,
Aye.
he was saying that if ghosts did actually exist, they would pick up the particle interactions from the Large Hadron Collider.
Yes.
Because if you think, if you say that you've heard a ghost or you've felt like a presence or something, that means that the ghost would have had to interact with the surrounding particles, like the air around you. It would have had to move about those particles, whether it's through like its frequency, if it's like a sound, or if it is actually a physical presence, then it would have to move particles even still.
So my argument with
which
that,
hasn't been picked up on a Large Hadron Collider. So they think, or Brian Cox thinks, using that reason, that they don't exist. But we've yet to know more about sort of like dark matter and dark energy.
Yeah.
And there's more particles that we've just not discovered and we don't have a clue how they work.
Yeah.
So it could well be that they operate using dark matter and energy and other particles that we don't understand yet.
So, an argument with Brian Cox's theory there is that you're talking about something supernatural, right?
Yeah.
So this thing that's interacting with, you're saying it interacts with the environment goes colder, right? But who says it's not just your body that feels colder? Who says that the ghost isn't putting an influence on you, on like, so that you feel that you're colder, and while the environment stays the same? Like the way that you would get goosebumps and everything like that, if you get what I'm saying. So this is like a supernatural thing. You're like, overall, ghosts are going to always be unprovable, right?
Are you meaning, so say you're in like a room?
Yeah. You're in a room with a room temperature, like a nice temperature, right? But like obviously a ghost comes in.
Yeah.
Like it might not have to interact with the particles, and then there's like, you know how like ghosts were like poltergeists, guys like throw things against walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The ghost might have to be strong enough to do that. It might have to exert a certain energy. So when it's not interacting with like anything, right? It's not touching any particles or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the point where it's kind of exerting that energy is when it touches that.
Okay.
So the same thing happens when your body goes cold or when the room goes cold.
Yeah.
The ghost exerts the energy.
So you're saying that the ghost exerts on you rather than on the room.
Yeah, it
so
could
the room
exert.
actually still stays the same temperature.
Yeah, usually like like maybe slightly colder, right? But it exerts. It has to exert an energy to interact with particles, if so any, right? So obviously harder, like that hadron collider or whatever particle it was again, when it hits to interact with this particle, the ghost will have to exert an energy. That's kind of like a belief as well. Yeah. So in terms of that, these ghosts to interact with anything, other than basically standing or floating on the ground or whatever, to like stay in the same plane. Yeah. They have to exert an energy to interact with everything. Otherwise, they go through everything. The way they go through walls and everything like that, they might not have the like if they actually interacted with the particles in that kind of way, we would see their form clearly. Yeah. In a way, or like transparent at least. But just like when you see like ghosts and like you see an image of people seeing images of ghosts and stuff like that, they might have to exert that. They might have to exert that energy to be in that image. Yeah. They might have to exert that kind of movement or like whatever to change something. So I guess that's the part. But like going back to the talk of life after death, like people, you could get stuck on this plane. Like people believe there's different planes of existence. Obviously, heaven, hell, or whatever. There's people like I mean, paganism I think believes in multiple like different worlds and stuff like that as well. Yeah. Like in Islam they believe like they always believe in like 7 heavens, and in Christianity they believe in 7 heavens as well. I'm not sure about Judaism, but I think that follows the same line. In terms of going through this, like if you die, you go through you can go to one of these heavens. Okay. The higher up you are, the higher your status in that heaven. Right. So like how well you lived your life will take you there. But if you've lived your life horribly bad,
Yeah.
or like just not following the faith or something like that, then you can go to hell the same way. Right, and hell, I'm not sure. Like you'll be punished for the sin that you committed most probably.
Okay.
I think that's how it works usually.
Yeah.
In like Christianity and Islam, I think that's how it works. But overall, like at that point, like that comes after like the judgments and stuff like that. And in Islam, like you go to hell after the Day of Judgment. I don't think you go to hell like straight away.
Okay.
If you know, I mean, I'm not sure if you go to heaven straight away either.
Yeah.
But like you'll just stay in your grave until the Day of Judgment comes, and then you go. And in Christianity, in comparison, is that if you die, you go to heaven or hell straight away.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. You're judged on the spot.
Yeah.
And like there's different like, and Judaism might follow that same thinking as well. But this is like once again my stereotype on what my base knowledge is, which isn't too much.
Yeah.
Right. But in terms of like life after death, like there's no way we can reach like a conclusion on it.
No.
Because there's like
the
such an interesting debate that's always going to be there.
while we were sort of on the subject of like
Yeah.
ghosts in particular,
Uh-huh.
I have had experiences myself because as you've known me for like what 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
I've always been the pretty strange, curious child.
Yeah.
Right, so I've done a couple weird Ouija boards in my time here
Yeah.
so far, and obviously they've actually worked.
How you done it with other people?
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, don't give me that. Oh, they were moving the thing.
Yeah.
Because
no, it's like there's argument against that.
the answers that these things were given us, there was no chance that someone could make that up on the spot. Like, oh, you're not gonna believe it. You're just not, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, you've always been a strange kid, like, you've been a strange adult as well. So, like, you can see where my doubts are, like, taking place.
oh man, I can see it in your eyes, man. The doubts are there. Please just listen. Right. The first time I ever done a Ouija board,
Yeah.
you know how you get the one that's like, you can actually buy one, like
Yeah.
the actual set, you know what it looks like?
Yeah.
Right, so, obviously we didn't have that, but we just made one ourselves, right?
Yeah, it's easy to make one.
Yeah, right. So we got everything, and right, so we obviously asked if there was lab presence there, if someone's there, and yes, right. And then, right, so we asked who it was, and I kid you not, it spelled out exactly like because obviously you can spell these names however you want, but it was the exact same spelling and everything. It was Alexander Graham Bell, you know, the Scottish telephone guy. Yeah, right. I kid you not, it was him that answered, because he spelled out the full name, the spaces and everything. The spelling was the exact same as when you Google it. But yeah, he was a dark creature, man. Because after it, I think it was the day after it, there was like, so in the room that we done it in, there was like a unit with bookshelves, and there was stuff from only the top shelf that it wouldn't even just drop, it would be like proper chucked at you. And there was this one instance where we were like eating in that same room, I think it was at lunch or something.
Uh-huh.
We had our knife and fork and plate and all that. No, you're not gonna believe it, but the knife actually did. It was only a butter knife, right?
Yeah.
It just like flew right at us, man. Like, oh, you don't understand. It was mental.
See, I won't doubt this belief, right? I won't doubt, like, this thing happened, because obviously I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not going to say too much about it. I'm just surprised you just didn't phone. You made that creation for another reason.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is,
you could have just phoned
with
us,
the
man.
with the Ouija, yeah,
No need to do it through a bit of paper.
with the Ouija board, right? You all have your hands on this kind of thing,
Yeah.
right?
So we had it on.
Like, obviously, one person, like, there's a chance that one person can manipulate it to move it. That's one thing.
So you
But
know
also,
how the original one, it's like a triangle
Yeah.
with the circle in the middle.
Yeah.
So obviously we didn't have that. We used. So it's like, see the glass that you're drinking
Yeah.
your water from.
That.
It would have been like that. Obviously the diameter a lot smaller. It was like a wee jar, basically.
Yeah.
It was quite small.
But like,
And we just turned it upside down.
the thing with that is that you're all putting like exerting like a certain amount of force on this kind of item,
Yeah.
right? Oh, like this is a scientific belief, and
But
this
it
has
was
come from a faith guy.
rapid, man. It wasn't even going like
If it's rapid, then
slow.
even,
It was going. It was
Yeah.
spelling out stuff so fast.
yeah, but
man.
you can't say that no one else was exerting that pressure.
How is someone just going to come out, oh yeah, Alexander Graham Bell's talking to us, and just spell that out pure rapidly?
Why the heck would you think Alexander Graham Bell is here of all places?
Right, but
Right,
how
so
are
that's
you
what
going to
I'm
come
arguing.
out?
Right, Alexander Graham Bell did not live in Clydebank. Right,
No.
he was a banky.
No,
He didn't support Clydebank FC, right?
He's a big banky boy.
So what I like to better is like if it was any other name, right, I would be like, alright, that could be a thing. But for Alexander Graham Bell, absolutely not. Right. As far as I'm aware, he wasn't a cultist.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, he didn't have like an attachment to life when he passed away. Right. As he created like this huge invention, right?
Yeah.
Like he struggled living as well because his like family like were deaf. Some of them, I think.
Maybe
But
that's just proof that there's not a telephone in heaven or hell, and he was just wanting a wee chat with someone. Do you know what I mean?
Man, you know how they like these people that make phones, man. They just need someone to talk to.
You try to get up to speed with the sign of the times. Like, right, people don't really use our landlines anymore, do they? And they don't quite have a smartphone. I'll just use a Ouija board.
Ouija board. But in terms of that, like even in my because obviously I'm faithful, we're taught like not to use Ouija boards, so we do believe in them. We do believe that they do have like an effect. You do communicate with the another being that's nearby you.
Yeah.
But one thing that we're told is not to ever do it, because you might, and doing that Ouija board thing, you might be summoning that creature or whatever it is, right?
So
And
what
there's
you're
nothing
saying
to
is
say,
I've summoned Alexander Graham Bell to come and
or something fooling you into or tricking you into
to
it.
come and
Yeah.
what will he do? He'll like overthrow Apple and create the best smartphone of all time.
All time, yes.
Yeah.
He'll overthrow iPhone single-handed, like
Yeah,
Apple
Samsung
single-handedly.
as well,
Apple will
everyone.
die, yes.
Yeah.
Samsung will die.
Yeah.
You'll just be back to like flip phones, right? But like it'll be good flip phones. But in terms of like what this Ouija boards is that you'll be summoning this creature kind of entity, right? There's nothing to say that entity leaves when you've finished.
That's true, yeah.
Sounds like the thing. What was that game that people used to play when we were in high school with like the two pencils, Charlie or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called, yeah.
So that kind of thing as well.
I've never ever done that.
You summon an entity, right?
Yeah.
You're not sure if it leaves at the end. There's no guarantee.
Yeah.
Or it like possesses someone at that point,
Mhm.
and you don't know until they head home.
Yeah.
Because like, there's so many stories about that. Like you see movies about that as well.
Yeah,
It's like such a famous thing.
movies. I've never heard stories about it.
I have like people like when after doing a Ouija board, the person was like possessed. He didn't act it at the event, but like you see through actions and stuff like that when he's doing something else or something that he's possessed by something, because he'll seem more cruel to something.
Okay.
Or
acting out character.
Yeah, character activities after that is sole event where he did seem effect.
Yeah.
Like so, like being possessed isn't as like you see that personality switch just like that.
Okay.
Being possessed is more like you see either a gradual change.
Yeah.
Or that this thing that's possessing you will try to act like you, unless it's actually proper scary.
Yeah.
Like in terms of it wants to harm everyone straight away, then it might talk to everyone.
Yeah.
But then you see like that's why you get like these spiritualists that like sit in a circle like holding hands kind of like to talk to like the other side.
Yeah.
The reason they don't use Ouija boards is that because they don't leave at the Ouija board.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to exit it.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like unsummoning this creature entity.
Yeah.
But in terms of like holding hands and whatnot, they do like proper like a chant sometimes to like say, oh we're gonna end it here.
Yeah.
Like unsummon the entity that we're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't want to talk to it anymore. Like holding hands to make sure that no one else is going to be harmed by this creature or like possessed.
Yeah.
Because it like stops like an exit or something like that. It leaves a flow through you.
Okay.
Or something like that. They believe that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But overall, it's just such an interesting topic because it goes like I said before, it's so unprovable.
Yeah.
But so unprovable. It's equally unprovable that you can't not prove.
Yeah, no,
to
you
this.
mean you can't
Yeah.
prove either side
Yeah.
of it.
So there's always going to be a debate that's there.
Yeah.
Because when you're like sleeping, you hear a noise that like you don't recognise in your house. A thumping.
Apart
It's not
from
like that. You gotta think like, oh, it's someone's there.
Yeah.
And then you go like when you go check out, the noise stops. When you go like this happens in my room, right? When I go back in my room, the thumping starts again. Right.
Just mental,
Right.
man.
And that's the thing, like, cause I was like, oh, is it the next door neighbour? I was like, no, the noises come from my right hand side, not my left. I was like, oh, then I was going to the bathroom, like that's outside of my room. I'll go check there. I was like, oh, there's something, that noise coming here. Is a tap on?
Yeah.
So I check the taps are tight, and stuff like that. So I'll be like, alright, something's weird here. So I look outside and stuff like that, and then there's birds on my roof.
Alright. I'd be freaking out, man.
Right, so like, there's that kind of thing.
I probably would have bolted out the house.
Yeah, so that's kind of thing. Like, if you say like if I believe in ghosts or like if I believe in other entities, right? I'd say yes. If I believe in ghosts or like if I believe in life after death, I'd say yes. But if I believe in ghosts, I'd say not really. I believe that like obviously other entities might be there.
Yeah.
Right, I don't believe it's a human spirit that's remained behind. I believe that if there's a process to get humans to like this reincarnation cycle, this kind of like afterlife, this heaven, this hell, or whatever, like it's going to be flawless because that would just like this reincarnation cycle like is a bit iffy because I don't know too much about that. But in terms of like if there's heaven or hell, I believe that God's going. If there is a God, he would be a perfect being.
Yeah.
He would get this process right. Right, unless he specifically wanted it to be there, but he would get this process right. Because I can't understand like why this ghost would be there in the first place.
Yeah.
But in terms of like if there's other entities that he's created from us, like in Islam and Christianity, they believe that other unseeable entities, and in Judaism as well. Actually, they believe unseeable entities were created at the same time as humans. Right, so these entities could be what's causing it.
Okay.
Right, in Islam it's actually really interesting because they believe that these creatures, these entities, are like humans, right? So basically, they have their own communities, they have their own faiths,
right?
They have their own beliefs. There's bad ones, there's good ones.
Yeah, but they're just
in the
you
contrast,
can't see them.
Yeah, in the contrast, that's what could make them scary.
Yeah. Because
there's actually like I was in a mosque once, right, for like a kind of trip.
Yeah.
And this person was talking about it. Like we and my friend were like talking about like just supernatural like things because obviously we're going to like a religious place.
Yeah.
And we're putting into that mood. So me and my friend were talking about it. I was saying like someone was sleeping on the first row of the mosque, right? At night, because like people stay over at night sometimes, and that is something you shouldn't do, for the specific reason that these entities might be wanting to pray.
Okay.
Right. So someone slept on the first row.
Right.
He was possessed that night. Right. People saw him get up at the time and they thought he'd go to the toilet or something like that. He went back to the toilet, right?
Yeah.
Like washed himself. Right. Some other people saw him as well.
Okay.
Like they have the proper witnesses, like who were just walking about or like sleeping or like woke up because he moved.
Yeah.
Right, he walked back, right, prayed in that first row, went back and slept, didn't remember a thing in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so mad, man.
Like,
honestly, I don't think I want to be here anymore, just get rid of
the thing
me.
is, like, also these beings, like, are scary, like, people think, oh, because they're, like humans, that's what makes them scary. They could be bad, they could hurt you.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about these kind of Ouija boards and stuff like that, that may be what's moving it. That being. And that might trick you, because a lot of them like tricking humans.
Yeah.
Because they don't like them, overall. Like, like, most of them would say they don't like humans. Right. Because if we saw them, like, their visual appearance, we'd think they're ugly. Like, this is one thing I found was funny, was that we'd think they're ugly, we'd think they're hideous, or like, we'd be scared of them. Right, they think we're ugly in return. Like that
Don't
kind of
hurt
thing.
my feelings like that.
I mean,
It's bad for my self-confidence.
I thought you'd see that whenever you looked in the mirror, but
Wow,
that's fine.
brilliant. Some pal you are.
Overall, like, I think it's such an interesting, because I found out when I went on that trip, and I was like, oh, that's so interesting. I was like, can you imagine like these things that we're thinking are ghosts
Yeah.
aren't ghosts. Like there's something that we can't physically grasp out there, and that might also have in life or having a belief in itself, a belief system.
Yeah.
I was like, can you imagine how mad that would be? Like it widens your world kind of view.
I know. Yeah.
That this other thing can exist,
Yeah.
and there's nothing you know about it.
And there's nothing you can do to learn more about it.
Yeah. Other than looking at it like
It's
further
just-
into like the faith that believes in them.
Yeah, it's just a big void.
Yeah.
In knowledge.
So it's so interesting, like these kind of beings exist.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, like angels, like we don't see them, but we believe they exist.
Yeah.
And they're in our faith. So it's the same thing that it's not unbelievable that these other beings will exist. But it's not unbelievable that they won't exist.
Yeah.
Same argument. But overall, to life or death is just such a range of topics that we wouldn't be able to cover it all in this podcast.
I know, like we're well over half an hour already, and I don't think we would ever reach a conclusion.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
too
there's
much
like-
on the fence.
Yeah, and I'm
I'll
like
tell you,
have faith.
my conclusion is I'll let you know when I've kicked the bucket. Right? I'll let you know then.
My conclusion is there's something out there.
But it's too much of a void to actually know anything. Yeah.
But either way, be careful.
Yeah, just
Right. There's no reason to like go out your way to like
stay
provoke
protected.
It. Yes.
Yeah, just wrap
Yeah.
yourself in like bubble wrap or something.
Yeah. Use protection.
Yeah, just.
Use protection. That's our conclusion overall.
Yeah.
Use protection.
What do you recommend for protection?
Oh, it depends on your faith. Right.
Is it right?
So if you're like if you believe in Christianity, holy water. There's holy water. There's cross. There's a crucifix. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's churches. There's holy places. There's like a parts of the Bible you can recite. Same with the Quran, like the Quran and the Torah. That you can recite part of their like holy scriptures. But overall, keep to that. But if it gets worse, right, I wouldn't pay for it or anything, right? But go to a professional, not like professional that you see online, like a professional of your own belief.
Yeah.
Go to them and say, hey, I'm having this issue and I think that it might be supernatural.
Don't
If
think
you
you'd be as
describe-
bubbly as that. Like,
Yeah.
hey.
Hey man, look how's things going, man. Oh me, man, that's fine. I've just been possessed recently. But in terms of like, there's been possession like stories like in Glasgow, people being possessed.
Really?
Yeah. There's possession stories like there's proper scary ones I've heard, but I can't like properly call it. And I remember like it gave me nightmares at the point.
Yeah.
So I remember like obviously as a faith, I believe go to your faithful thing. If you don't have like a specific belief, but you believe in the supernatural, which is happens as well, try out what you can. Like overall, it's your range. Whatever you think might work. Right. Look at like don't just look online, but go to like maybe Christianity. Christianity is like one of the main things in the Western world, right? For like ghosts and stuff like that. Maybe that will work. Soul or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Watch a TV series like Supernatural itself, but Soul whatever. Just go to like places, try things till they don't work. If they still don't work, like you would have at that point seek for help, and hopefully someone else can do it for you.
Good advice from Abs for everyone.
Yeah.
Get that take home message.
Advice like you probably won't need it. I mean, it's there anyway if you want it. Just pick it up. I mean, it's just another piece of trash on the floor, but it's
There we
not good
go.
to litter.
It's always there. Yeah. Normally we would have a summarised conclusion, but today we really don't.
Yeah,
Just because of how diverse the topic is.
too diverse. We're not going to get here.
Yeah, let us know what your own thoughts are.
What your own beliefs are,
Yeah.
and do you want us to go more into the supernatural topic?
And let us know if you've had any paranormal experiences yourself, like me. Just come and share it with me, and I'll tell you if you're talking shite or not. Nah, I'm kidding.
We'll see. We'll be the judges, but who knows? We'll look more into it maybe at a future episode.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. Cheers.
Remember to like and subscribe, and suggest any topic that you think we will be likely to be uneducated on.
Done.